Hello and welcome, my friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. In this video, of course, we're looking at a weekly group reading for the week of January 10th through the 16th. It's been quite the start to 2021. It's not surprising that we're still dealing with a lot of the same energies that we were dealing with at the end of 2020. It doesn't mean that 2021 isn't going to give us that shift we're looking for. It just means we need to work at it a little bit more. And that's what I want to look at this week. I want to look at how we can take some action and ownership on what we need to do for our best interest and greatest good. It may not be a global impact aspect or piece that we need to start to partake in. However, we can start to shift the energies around us, helping us to feel better, helping us to heal ourselves, and get ourselves going in a more meaningful way. And that's an important part of that shift, finding that fulfillment and that meaning, which of course will equate to some abundances and opportunities that we don't currently have. For this reading this week, I decided to go with the Wizard's Tarot, and I've paired it with the Enchanted Map Oracle, adding in that element of magic with a little bit of mapping and clear direction. And of course, I've topped it all off with the Sovereign Oracle's Inspired Living deck. That way, we get a little bit more inspiration and added direction into what we should be doing this week. And of course, like always, I have links below to all these fantastic decks. So should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. My selections, my friends, of course, we have some Amazonite, Rose Quartz, and then Lapis Lazuli. I want you to choose whichever crystal resonates with you right now. It may not be your favorite crystal. However, it's the crystal that has been speaking to you and catching your eye throughout this introduction. And then head into the description box below. There, you're going to find timestamps. Click on the crystal's correlating timestamp. It's going to take you straight to your reading, and I will see you there, my friends. Hello and welcome, my Amazonite friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have all the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Amazonite friends. What can my Amazonite friends expect from the week of January 10th through the 16th? Stuck in the mud. Yeah, many of us are feeling that. Like I said in the introduction, we're still having that stagnation, that heaviness of 2020. Yes, 2021 does bring us the opportunities to shift that. However, we haven't been able to get quite unstuck. We kind of feel like we're in the same rut. This week does give us opportunities to stop circling and swirling in the same muck and step out of that pattern. Breaking that pattern will support you in getting moving forward. Being able to embrace opportunities and possibilities that are going to bring in more joy and more abundance in all aspects of your life. It's crucial that we break this pattern first. Without breaking the pattern, we're going to find any change or shift won't be sustained and we'll end up back in this very familiar rut. We need to break the pattern, heal ourselves, so that we're able to grow and evolve, continuing our journey rather than finding ourselves right back where we started. So let's get some more information on this. See how we can do this. What should my Amazonite friends focus in on this week? Ooh, very important. And a good reminder. See if it comes in here. It'll focus. There we go. Breathe. Inhale love, exhale stress. Slow down and pay attention to your breathing. Your body will thank you. Take this moment in stride. There are more moments ahead of you. Which is very true and connects in so much with that stuck in the mud. We need to take that deep breath and break that pattern. Breathe in the love, exhale the stress. When we do that, we're bringing in that high vibrational energy that's going to empower us, that's going to support us in not only acknowledging these patterns, but starting to make small shifts and changes that are going to be maintainable, that are going to be sustainable. That's what we need right now, is those maintainable and sustainable shifts. I don't say changes, I say shifts. When we start to change, we add in that element of fear. We don't need fear right now. We need something that's going to support us. Making small shifts will support us in making big changes throughout time. When we have that small shift, it's so much easier. Just like when you're trying to lose weight, it's really hard to maintain changing your eating patterns and counting calories and doing all this extra exercise. Not only is it a shock to your system, but your body retaliates. It doesn't remember. However, if you make small changes, adding in a glass of extra water here and there, decreasing the sugar slowly, you don't notice that change or shift. Adding in 15 minutes of exercise, then extending it to 20, then to 30. Those small shifts, they're more maintainable. You can sustain that shift because that shift eventually will come to a change that, well, can help break that pattern, get you unstuck, and get you going. Let's look at these shifts. Let's look at what we can do this week to help acknowledge this pattern and then break it. Heal ourselves and move ourselves forward. What can my Amazonite friends expect from the beginning of the week? Oh, love it. The Page of Pentacles. That fun, playful, inquisitive energy. And we need that now. When you're starting to swirl in the same thoughts and feelings. And let's be honest, these thoughts and feelings, they're not high vibrational. Because if they were, we're not in a rut here. We're dancing in fields. We're having a great time. These are thoughts and feelings that are sucking our energy dry. We are feeling just lost and, well, stuck. We need that playful, that inquisitive, fun energy to be infused in our everyday. Bringing in some happiness, bringing in some fun. Like I said, we don't need a full day of carnival. What we need is just little pieces and aspects every day to embrace the beauty and the joy that's all around us. That little shift helps to clear our head a bit, helps us to take that deeper breath, and it helps us to understand and acknowledge that pattern that keeps bringing us back to the same place. Additionally, we also have, of course, that pentacle, that earthy groundedness. So important when we're making some small shifts, when we're reinforcing our foundation, when we're working on us. The more grounded and stable we are, the more we're able to explore what it is we're looking at. We can get to that scary or uncertain aspect, knowing we have that stability and foundation beneath us, to ask those hard questions. Of course, with that page, we can ask those hard questions. We allow that inner toddler out, and we allow the toddler inquisition to, well, take hold and take fire at what it is we're dealing with. The beginning of the week, we need to focus in on some grounding, some play, and some exploration. And I know that sounds like a big task to start off in the beginning of the week. Sunday, Monday, we're starting to get ready for our week. Let's break it down again into manageable pieces. I have some meditations that you can incorporate in the beginning of your week to help not only with that breath, but to help to understand your situation better, strengthening you and healing you along this journey. There's a number of them, so you may want to pause the video and get a pen and paper and write down some of them, or just revisit this section. The first one, of course, I'm going to recommend Archangel Jophel. Her and I work together to declutter your brain, to slow that inner whirlwind. It's a fantastic place to start because it helps to declutter some of this repeating thoughts, repeating feelings. Helps to bring us right back into ourselves. Clear out that mind, get a better understanding of what we need to do, of where we need to go. Another meditation that I have that would support you in this week, of course, would be the meditation I did with Archangel Ariel. It's a grounding meditation that will help you stabilize yourself so that you are able to look at what's happening, identify what you need to do and how you need to go forward. Which leads me to my next recommendation, which would be a meditation that I created with Archangel Christiel to help you understand your path, help light your way a little bit more, help with that unstuckness, help to connect in with what's meaningful for you right now. Because sometimes when we get stuck in this swirlingness, we feel like we don't know what would be meaningful. So Archangel Christiel will help you with that. And the last one that comes to mind right now would be a meditation I did with Archangel Uriel to help strengthen that courage and connect you in with your creativity and your passions. Again, helping feel stronger and more able to do some of this work, and then helping to connect in with some of the work that would be meaningful for you on your individual journey. We know breathing is an important aspect this week, and of course meditation. What's the core of meditation? But breath, that breathing. Easy tools that you can use. Now, if you're new to my channel and you're not too sure of what I'm talking about, I do have 2 series of meditations that I've done on my YouTube channel here that are free. I'm not recommending things that I'm charging you for, that there's hidden expectations or demands of you. These are tools that you can use and reuse to your advantage. I have links below to both playlists, and I encourage you to go explore. There may be meditations that scream your attention. Take that time for you. They're usually around 30 minutes long, and it's 30 minutes for you. Like I said, we want to start off in manageable pieces. You can pick and choose whatever meditation resonates with you right now. So let's go off into the middle of the week. We know we need to explore, we need to add some fun and some play. Now, I know many people are like, ooh, meditation, not so much fun. Sure, sitting in a corner and breathing for 20 minutes may not be so much fun. I find guided meditations a lot more fun because you're listening to something, you're being guided through a journey, and you're able to experience something. I find them a lot of fun. I like doing them, and I really enjoy creating them. So, having that fun. Whatever fun looks like for you, add in 15 minutes here and there. You'll find that rut gets less and less deep. All right, the middle of the week. Whoa! That card really needed to come out. What can my Amazonite friends expect from the middle of the week? All right. Ooh, sorry. The Five of Swords. Did you think your ego was just going to lay down idly and allow you to do this? Of course not. The middle of the week, that ego is going to come up. You're going to have that resistance. That fear and that heartache will come in fast and furious. Don't worry. You're not alone. You can do this. You can stand up to your ego. You've done it before. You've gotten to this point. You've done a fantastic job. We need to keep going. We need to use that inner courage and that determination. I know it's easier said than done. Everybody has been stuck. Everybody understands what it feels like to be uncertain about how to go forward. Taking the time for yourself. When this fear and this heartache comes in, come back to the page. That playful, that creative, that, innocent, childlike energy. Taking that time for you will go a long way in overcoming our ego. Now, another meditation that comes to mind, and because we have this breathe that's so important for you guys this week, you'll find I'll probably have a lot of them. That's why I suggested a pen and paper. One of the ways that we can start to reduce the heartache and that fear is through forgiveness of self. Months ago, I did a meditation with Archangel Zadkiel, and that's what we looked at, that self-forgiveness. We like to harbor and hold on to things, and, it's usually to our detriment. We don't harbor and hold on to those fantastic feelings. We use them to help us move forward. Like I said before, this is the lower vibrational heartache and fear that we're dealing with. The middle of the week, it's going to come up and it's going to be a bit of a challenge. You have the tools. I've given you many, many tools. I think I'm almost at the 50 mark when it comes to meditations, when I combine the two series together. So, using the tools that you need. Another tool that I can suggest that would support you is possibly some crystal work. Like I said, that grounding, stable energy, it's going to support you. So using those stabilizing crystals, tiger iron, black tourmaline, and black tourmaline, if you have it, would be fantastic because it also gives us a bit of a protection with it. There are so many different types of crystals that can help you with that grounding, with that stability. Using them now would support you in lessening some of that screaming from your ego and strengthening you to make that shift that's going to support you in this journey. Let's go on to the end of the week. What does the end of the week bring my Amazonite friends? Oh, yay! The Three of Cups. Oh, what a blessing. The Three of Cups, of course. You're looking at that connection. You're looking at that celebration. Many times when we're stuck in this swirliness, we start to hermit ourselves. We hermit ourselves in a bad way. We neglect those important people around us. Starting to connect in and celebrate and have some fun with our friends, with our family. Of course, we want to do that in a safe way. However, that connection and reaching out will be important. It'll help strengthen you, it'll help rejuvenate you, and it will help you to break this pattern, to release some of these feelings so that you are able to embrace the amazing opportunities that are open to you, that are present in your everyday. We're missing them right now because we are stuck in that rut. Let's go into the challenge. Now, I know I had mentioned that your ego is going to be a challenge, but let's look at what other challenges we're going to face. What challenges will my Amazonite friends face for the week of January 10th through the 16th? The Six of Swords. It's interesting that the two challenges that we have are presented in the swords. Swords themselves are about knowledge. It's not so much the knowledge that we're having issue with. It's the emotion that we've wrapped up in that knowledge, in that experience that's holding us back. The Six of Swords talks about moving forward with whatever it is we're carrying so that we're able to heal and move forward. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she had a woman and a child being taken across a body of water by a ferryman. On the right-hand side, the water's really choppy, and then on the left-hand side, it's really placid and clear. In the distance is this very lush and fertile land, and that's where they're headed. That movement, it's necessary. We're going to be resisting that movement. We're going to be resisting that change. Like I said earlier, at the very beginning of this video, change causes fear. And that fear, it slows us down. We are going to be having the biggest challenge in our ego this week because our ego likes to keep us quote unquote safe. There is a belief by your ego that if you keep in this rut, well, of course you're not going to be in any danger. The ego itself has vetted this area and you are safe. There's really nothing there. On either side, there is possible dangers. However, where you are right now, there isn't. The problem being is that our mental health can't cope with this, can't cope with the stagnation, with these reoccurring thoughts and feelings. We need to take that deep breath. We need to use our courage and our determination to make some shifts that will lead to a change. Like I said earlier, those little shifts will lead to a change. Those little shifts will help us move forward. Will also help us turn the Six of Swords into an ally versus an obstacle. We don't necessarily have to do a lot of work with these feelings and thoughts right now. What we do need to do is get to that very lush and fertile area. No matter if it's to the left or to the right. We don't know where back is right now because we've been going around and around and around. We need to get to either side so that we can start to make some clearer choices for us, for our greater good. That movement, those decisions, that's very important right now. That's going to help us get to some more happiness, to some more joy, that light, that love, and of course, those abundances. Let's go on to some blessings. What blessing can my Amazonite friends embrace for the week of January 10th through the 16th. Encouragement. I know it's really hard to believe because sometimes we feel so isolated. We're not alone. We've been ignoring that amazing physical support team. We've been isolating ourselves and causing more barriers from our amazing spiritual support team, those high vibrational beings. We need to start working on and reducing some of those barriers, reaching out to both our physical and our spiritual support teams, receiving that nurturing and encouragement to make some shifts that are going to lead to some important changes for you. When we have that encouragement and that nurturing from others, we feel more able to do what it is we need to do, that we know we need to do. We don't need them to do it for us, nor should they. They should look at encouraging us rather than doing it for us. We don't need to be rescued. What we do need is that encouragement and reinforcement to make the decisions for ourselves. We don't need them making our decisions because we're going to end up in the same rut. We're not breaking those patterns. We need to break patterns to make some very much needed difference in our lives. Oh, what a beautiful card. Strength. We have the ability. I said back here that we can do this. We've achieved such an amazing experience for ourselves up until this point. Sure, we've had different bouts where we've got stuck before. Using our skills and our abilities in our own way, that's an important piece. We need that ownership. We need our own flair to it. So we have that connection and fulfillment from what it is we're doing. We're able to make those shifts. We're able to make those decisions. Now, interestingly enough, we have the 44th card. She's holding a world or a globe, and she has a tree. That stability, that inner strength, it's there. When we feel like we're going to fall or we're not sure about what we're doing, again, go back to that page. Add in some fun, add in some stability and groundedness. That's going to add to your ability to do what it is we need to do. Trusting in ourselves and our abilities. It's a big lesson that many of us are still working on. Trusting in what it is we can do and what we're good at. Trusting in self. We're going to end off on any final thoughts, wisdom, and guidance that we can share with my Amazonite friends for the week of January 10th through the 16th. Ooh, love it. The Sun. Of course, we're looking at the 19th card in the Major Arcana. The Sun truly does lighten and brighten this reading. It adds more love, joy, and happiness into your week. Like I said at the beginning, the more we add in, the more we're going to get back. We're going to use the law of karma to our advantage. Putting out that happiness and joy, guess what comes galloping back? Happiness and joy. Adding more light and love really does pay off this week. When we start to get to that darker reoccurring, those thoughts and those feelings, add in that play and creativity. When we use our creativity to our advantage, we start to get out of our head. We get out of that stuckness. We're not thinking about those reoccurring thoughts and feelings. We're thinking about that creativity, what it is we're doing. And creativity, of course, can be in many different forms. It's the way you express yourself, which is individual to you. Tapping into that, of course, will bring back a lot of light and love back to you. Because when we're in our creative zone, not only are we getting out of that rut, because we're not focusing in or hyper-focusing in on different aspects that aren't life-giving, we're opening ourselves up for some divine support, that encouragement from the high vibrational beings. The universe is able to slide in different supports without us knowing, because we're not putting our blinders on and driving ourselves forward. We're taking that pause, we're taking that breath, we're adding in that fun, that creativity, and, well, that's when the universe lights up our path for us. So that creative venture, that creative endeavor is going to be very important. It's going to help us get ourselves out of our stuck heads and into some light and love. Ooh. Not surprising to see him. We've talked about him a lot. So, the devil, he's the 15th card in the major arcana. We're looking at our ego, those vices, those nooses or chains that are around our neck. In other words, those patterns that we haven't broke, how our ego controls us, keeps us going in circles. This week, we are confronting and we are looking at removing some of those bindings that we have. They're a natural occurrence and everyone has them. This week offers you that ability to break free. Take back that control in a high vibrational way of what it is you're doing and where it is you're going. The Four of Pentacles. When we do so, and we start to break this pattern, get out of the stuckness, you're going to find that the wealth increases. Those abundances, they come forward in all aspects of your life. You're going to be able to see them and connect in with them much better because we're starting to raise our vibration. We're getting out of this circle. We're getting on our horse and we're getting going. We're enjoying our everyday rather than getting stuck in that rut, stuck in that heaviness. When we get going and enjoy our day, those opportunities, they become more prevalent. That aha moment comes forward and you know how to embrace it. Those abundances start to roll in, both on that financial level and in our physical world, but also in our emotional and spiritual worlds as well. Like I said, that abundance comes in all aspects. Now, we do have the Four of Pentacles. We have the 44th card in the Oracle deck, and the 54th card in the Oracle deck, the 24th card in the Oracle deck. When you have that multiple four, the angels are telling you it's a time to focus in on your foundation and that you need to ensure that you are grounded. We're working on that foundation by getting ourselves unstuck and remembering that need for that grounded energy to help get us going. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and you're able to gain some insight and direction into the week ahead. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which of course helps people raise their vibration. We're allowing people the guidance and the healing that they need to make a difference in their life, which has a knock-on effect for people around them. So it's a win-win for so many people. Additionally, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way. You don't want to miss any of it. Of course, the best way to ensure that you don't miss any of it, hit that little red bell so you know when I post videos. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And of course, I've got lots of tiers and perks in my Patreon page. Those perks, we're looking at free readings and healings just for you. Additionally, I have a Patreon exclusive library of videos just for my supporters. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Amazonite friends. Hello and welcome, my rose quartz friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the tarot and both oracle cards here, so you get the most comprehensive and meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my rose quartz friends. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the week of January 10th through the 16th? It's hard to believe that we're already in the middle of the month already. Oh, what a fantastic card. Come together. I know so many of us are feeling so isolated, so disconnected. There's been so many restraints and constraints put on us to help, protect us, those around us, many healthcare systems. It's time that we come together in a meaningful way. It doesn't mean that we have to break those restrictions. We want to keep everyone safe. However, we can creatively continue to come together. Reach out in, unique and fun ways. Technology is more advanced than it ever has been, and we have abilities and ways to connect in. We just need to make that decision and reach out. And it doesn't have to be a humdrum thing. We can add flares of creativity. We can have some fun with it and enjoy our connection, supporting them and us. We need that balance. We need that connection now more than ever, especially since we're in January and these longer nights, they start to really impact our mental health. That connection, that joy and fun does help to rejuvenate us and invigorate us, helping us through some of these harder months. Let's look at this week just a little bit more. What should my rose quartz friends focus in on this week? Awesome. Entertain. Goof off and do something for the sheer enjoyment of it. Read a really good book, or color, or talk to a friend. Just saying, didn't we say coming together is really important? Talk to a friend. Is it work? Don't do it right now. We need that time for fun. We need to shift our energies around us. Like I said, January can be a bear of a month. There's really not a lot of fun happening. The one holiday or long weekend that occurs in the month, well, it's already happened. It's January 1st. It's a long time to our next long weekend, that next break. We need to incorporate some fun, incorporate some connection to support us, to invigorate us, and to help us through this harder time. Let's look at this week a little bit more. Let's look at how we can incorporate these elements and use it to our advantage. What does the beginning of the week bring, my rose quartz friends? Ooh, we're starting off being real. The Eight of Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is kind of a funny card because eights in tarot or oracle, they're about movement. Well, the sword's about truth and knowledge. Well, she doesn't look like she's moving too far, does she? She's all penned in and tied up. And that's kind of how we're feeling. Now, the swords of a suit itself, it's kind of a different suit. Swords are about knowledge. And it's not so much the actual knowledge per se that's causing us problem. The events and situations that are connected to this knowledge, well, they're also connected to some heartache and pain, some fear. And it's that heartache and fear that is causing the problem. Past situations and events have brought in that fear and that heartache. Well, the longer nights, they're playing up on it. The beginning of the week, we're really going to feel that pain, that fear coming forward. This is the time that we need to start off and use the direction of this week to our advantage. Reaching out to our support teams, having some fun, coloring, letting go, enjoying ourselves. Getting out of that heartache and fear and into something that is a lot more fun. And it's going to serve you a lot more than this fear and heartache. Now, I know it can be really challenging when you have these ruminating thoughts and feelings and everything feels really heavy. Sure, I could try and reach out, but that feels hard. Having fun, really? I'm not in that frame of mind. There is something you can do for you. It's not hard. It's rather just breathing. Most of us can breathe still. And that's an important aspect, is that breathing. Months ago, I did a meditation with Archangel Metatron. And in this meditation, we looked at releasing that fear and pain. It's a meditation that can support you in starting to actually connect in and feel able to use these supports, this guidance that the week is encouraging you to reach out for. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about the meditations, I have 2 playlists. I think I almost have 50 meditations in the 2 playlists. These are free meditations for you to use and revisit as you need. And the Archangel Metatron one is fantastic. All my meditations are guided meditations. You just need to sit down, you need to listen to the meditation, and like I said, breathe. That energy will come to you. In my Archangel playlist, this is a healing playlist, if you will, where all the meditations we work on that healing. The Just You and Me meditations, they range between different tools that will support you. The healing, though, that's going to be an important element in helping you move forward and get yourself unstuck. Not only are you going to have the amazing healing power of Archangel Metatron, I also send you Reiki healing through the meditation. And you can utilize these amazing energies to your advantage each time you use it. So it's not like a one-shot deal. You will continue to get it as you call in for it. And all you have to do to call in for it is start to listen to that meditation. It automatically does it for you. I've made it pretty easy to start off on that healing. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start off on releasing some of that heartache and fear so we can start to enjoy and be present in our everyday, rather than getting caught up in this stuckness. Let's go on to the middle of the week. What can my rose quartz friends expect from the middle of the week? Oh, fantastic. The Ace of Pentacles. When we start to work on self, we start to release this heartache, this fear, and we're able to embrace and have some fun. We start to connect. We start to enjoy our everyday. You're going to find that past seeds that you had planted, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, are going to start to emerge. You're going to start to go, oh, yeah, I remember that thought. I was going to try this. Or, oh, wow, this keeps reoccurring. It's important, guys. Nurture and connect in with it. I always encourage my students and my clients to have a journal or a binder of aha moments. It may not make sense for you right now, but it will in the future. Those messages that are hidden in plain sight from the high vibrational beings, the aha moments, those random repetitions that occur in your day. Start writing them down. They're going to start to make sense. When you have it written on paper, and please use the old school pen and paper technique, because I can't tell you how many times I've had clients and students email me in a panic because they had everything on their phone and they can't find it, or it's been deleted, or it's been corrupted, or. Pen and paper is harder for your ego to corrupt. We have the ability to usually maintain and understand where we put said binder or book. And if we can't find it, guess what? We can ask for help for that. We can say, I can't find my binder or my book. I need my spiritual journal. Can someone help me? When you say that, whether out loud or in your head, the high vibrational beings, they're on it. And if you don't believe me, try it sometime. If it's something that you truly need, you're going to pretty much turn around and bam, there it is. It has happened to me, and it is fantastic when it works. Sometimes it's highly frustrating when you're like, okay, I can't find my keys. Guys, help me, I can't find my keys. And you're searching and you're searching. 15 minutes later, they're on the counter where you've already looked 15 times. That's something different, guys. That actually means that you were supposed to be 15 minutes late. Usually avoiding a near miss collision or something that would have caused more challenge for you. So when you can't find your keys, take that deep breath. Ask for your help, but remember, there's probably a reason why you can't find your keys, and especially when they turn up in a place that you've already checked 15 times. Know that the high vibrational beings are causing you that delay for your greater good. All right, so back to the Ace of Pentacles and the middle of the week. Well, so the middle of the week, you're going to find that those emerging aspects are coming forward. Things are going to start to fall into place. We're getting ourselves unstuck. And lo and behold, if you start to connect in with your support team and say, hey, this is what I'm, keep hearing. Or, you know what, I keep seeing the number 1. You're going to find that people are like, really? Oh yeah, I see number 3 all the time, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have that connection and validation on what you're doing. It's going to help bring you stability. It's going to help with that growth. So the beginning of the week may be a bit rough. Take that deep breath, know it, and be prepared for it. I always bring out these videos a day or so before they're actually going to be started. So usually I post this video on a Saturday, usually early morning Saturday. Well, you know what? Knowing it in advance, you can use that to your advantage. Taking that time and maybe even starting off with Archangel Metatron on, the end of this week, rather than waiting for next week. Starting to work on these pieces and aspects that are already there. Getting yourself ahead of the game will help you really connect in to some of those emerging pieces that are going to support you in the weeks to come. Let's go on to the end of the week. What does the end of the week? Whoa, that card. Bring my rose quartz friends. This deck has been flying cards left, right, and center. I just ask that they keep it on the table. Oh, fantastic. The Four of Cups. So we're starting off with a bit of, well, heartache and pain. And we're starting to see movement. Now, in the Four of Cups, we're looking at, well, that Holy Grail, that missing piece. The original card Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she drew a man under a tree and he had 3 cups in front of him. He has the same kind of energy of, blah, is this it? And then to the left, there is a hand holding out 1 cup, the Holy Grail. Similar to how this one hand is holding this pentacle, the Holy Grail, or the Ace of Cups, has that similar hand. It's known as the hand of the universe. Those missing elements and pieces are really going to come into play. You're going to be able to connect a lot of dots and connect in with aspects and pieces that are so much more fulfilling than what we're dealing with right now. You get the moment. It's not an aha. It's like the whoa, bing moment that we're looking for. Taking that time and being present. Being open to the messages, the patterns, the repetition. Those mini ahas. Because when you do, that's when you get that grand whoa moment that we all look for. The end of the week, it is there for you. You just need to put the time and the energy in and be prepared for it. Our vibration needs to raise a lot more so that we can embrace that Holy Grail and embrace the amazing opportunities and rawness that we're looking for. Now, when I say we need to put work and time into it, guys, I'm not telling you that you have to spend your whole week trudging through and meditating upon meditating upon meditating. That's not sustainable. It's not even plausible. You'd probably fall asleep and get really bored and frustrated with this process. When I say you need to work on it, well, with meditation, my meditations are usually about 30 minutes. But that being present, that's going to be where the work's at. It's so easy to get focused in on the future, on the what ifs, or get stuck in the past with the pain and the heartache, or on the flip side, getting stuck in those good old days. It's being present and being open to these amazing opportunities and possibilities that are right around you. That's where the work needs to be. Being present and having some fun in your everyday. It does take a lot of that burden off our shoulders. All of that, of course, helps to raise our vibration and embrace that Holy Grail. So let's look at the challenge. I'd like to say that the Ace of Swords is your only challenge, but I can't be certain. So let's check on what the challenge is. What challenge will my rose quartz friends face for the week of January 10th through the 16th? The King of Pentacles. So kings in tarot, they have the fullest and most defined personality. They have the most control and the most power. That pentacle, we're looking at growth and abundance. What we're looking at here is doing a bit of a shift this week. Shift of perspective. Even though we're not looking at a big change, this shift from focusing in on that low vibrational heartache and fear and focusing in on some fun, some happiness, and the present is going to cause some resistance. Your ego is going to say that this is safer. You know what to expect here. Here, these are unknown. We don't know what to expect. That's really dangerous. Don't do it. Stay here, stay stuck. It'll be safer that way. Well, you're limiting your ability to grow. You're limiting your ability for prosperity and abundance. What we need to do when we have that fear, when we have that resistance, take some time, ground yourself so you have the stability of the earth to help you take that resistance and use it to your advantage. You start to flip the resistance. You're changing the King of Pentacles from an obstacle to an ally. When you're grounded, you're able to make small shifts and changes quite easily. You feel stable. You feel stable to start to be present for you. Start to love and work with you. That small shift will start to shift the king from an obstacle to an ally. And then you have Midas touch helping you with this little shift. Because this little shift then brings in a lot of prosperity, a lot of abundances in all aspects of our lives. That little energetic shift goes a long way in bringing in what it is you need. And if you don't believe me, just look at it critically, because that's the one thing that your ego can't handle is critical thinking. If you don't shift out of that low vibration, how are you going to be able to continue to grow? Bring in that prosperity. However, if you start to shift out of that fear and heartache and into something that is more sustainable, more maintainable, that brings you joy and happiness, what's stopping you from bringing in that abundance? You start to attract more supports. You start to attract like-minded people. You're putting out energy to the universe of light, love, and happiness. What are you going to get back? The same, usually threefold back at you, which brings in that abundance. You feel fuller. You feel more content in what it is you're doing. Plus, the universe loves to reward us. When we start to work on us and pull ourselves out, especially on our own accord, out of this funky stagnation, that's when the universe is like, ooh, I'm going to throw in some extra bonuses for you. You get stickers. Here you go. Let's put in some more abundances. Boom. Let's put in some financial rewards. And these are things that we never expect. Boom. There you go. You're shifting your energies. You're starting to do things that are more fulfilling for you. And you start to reap the rewards. We need to, of course, turn the King of Pentacles into his Midas touch persona, which, if we do this, it's like, boom, there you go. Well, right now he's at his King of Pentacles, which, of course, we all want in our lives. Well, right now, he's at the King of Pentacles stage, as we're fighting and resisting the unknown. And the unknown, well, we know what's known right now, and we don't like it. The unknown, well, guess what, guys? When you take that deep breath, and this is important, really important, we take those small, steady steps, that's when shifting and changing occurs that we can maintain and sustain. So we're not yo-yoing back and forth. We start to break free of the patterns through healing and releasing things that aren't working and embracing things that are. It's our journey and our work to do. And this week offers you that energetical shift that can really, really be rewarding in the end. Let's go on to some blessings. This is a fantastic week because even our obstacle, right, it's all down to your ego. And we've dealt with our ego before. taking it small and steady will really help you to make some shifts that will help you in the weeks to come, in the months to come, because it's sustainable and it has a foundation of light and love, not of heartache and fear. What blessing can my rose quartz friends embrace for the week of January 10th through the 16th? Just in case you missed it, movement. We need to make a shift. We need to get out of this heartache, out of this pain. And I don't think it's something that we want to stay in. It's just we have that comfort, that expectation. We know what to expect here. We just don't know what to expect here. That unknown can be very scary. Like I said, take it slow, take it steady. We don't need to make leaps and bounds. This ostrich, sure, can move quickly, but it's not running. It's got one leg very steady on the ground. The other one is moving slowly forward. And that's what we need to look at, that slow, progressive movement, that action. It's not just looking at something and knowing, yeah, I should probably do that. It's actually getting up and doing it too. That's an important piece. Oh, how fantastic. Peaks of joy. We brought out the entertain card right at the beginning there. That joy, that happiness, that fun, we really need to bring it into our everyday. Like I said, that little energetic shift of focusing in on some light and love, some laughter and fun versus that heartache and pain, it's going to go such a long way in getting you to move in the right direction. Because we're looking at movement, not stagnation. Enjoying this time, enjoying what you're doing will go such a long way in, well, not only this week and month to come, but in the years to come, because we're having that energetic perspective shift. All right, let's go on to any final thoughts, guidance, and wisdom that we can share with my rose quartz friends for the week of January 10th through the 16th. Now, something that I hadn't noticed, and I talk about how messages are hidden in plain sight. Well, this is the 8th card in the Oracle deck. And way back here, we pulled the 8 of Swords. It's easy to miss. When you have that multiple 8 like that, the angels are telling you that abundance and prosperity is coming your way, that you need to stay true to your passions. Like I said, these messages are hidden in plain sight. We need to be present and mindful, be open for them, because they're everywhere. We just need to acknowledge them and then incorporate them in. So staying true to your passions, those aspects and pieces that bring you joy and fulfillment. That is where you're going to find the Ace of Pentacles and the Holy Grail. The Four of Wands. Now, fours in themselves are about foundation. Actually, when you have that multiple 4, because we have the 4 of Cups and the 4 of Wands, the angels are telling you that this is a time to focus in on your foundation and to make sure that you are coming from a grounded space. So, we already knew that, especially as we've been going forward. When we pulled the King of Pentacles, I talked about the importance of grounding. Now, of course, I do have a grounding meditation that you can use. I've actually got a number of them in both playlists so that you can ground yourself in different ways. Because grounding, well, some days you need a little bit of a deeper grounding, and sometimes you need some support. so that divine angelic energy can support you in that grounding. Additionally, you may even want to use some crystals to your advantage. Something like tiger iron, black tourmaline, anything in the deep red or black hue will support you with that grounding, with that connection. And that will go a long way in embracing what this week is offering you. And really what this week is offering you is that rite of passage. And the Four of Wands reminds you of this. We're looking at a small rite of passage, that energetical shift that I was talking about before. When you shift your perspective, you're going to find that gateway open and that those opportunities start to flood forward. Again, turning the Midas touch, your King of Pentacles, from an obstacle to an ally. We need to do and embrace that rite of passage. That rite of passage that when we connect into our passions, to our creativity, and embrace these opportunities, it's when you're going to start to see things fall into place. You're going to see that Midas touch flow fully. The Three of Wands. It's another movement card. It's one of the many movement cards in tarot. I know this card doesn't really look like there's a lot of movement in play. However, when you start to get to know tarot, you understand that it is a movement card. This is why I encourage people to learn off of the Rider-Waite, because the Rider-Waite, well, it has the symbolism and meaning that these cards are all kind of brought off from. So, the original card, the Three of Wands, talks about that need to move forward. In the Two of Wands, you make a decision. In the Three of Wands, you start to put action to that decision. Now, inaction is going to cause and amplify that blahness that we're feeling. Amplify that heartache and pain. When we start to make little movements, little progressions, that's when we're going to start to see things fall into place. That blahness starts to turn to joy, to happiness. We feel more fulfilled and contented in what we're doing, rather than looking at something and wishing for something more. Oh, wow. And finally, the Two of Pentacles. When we start to embrace this energetic shift and releasing this heartache and fear, we're going to be able to embrace a more balanced approach. We're going to have more of our faculties to use to our advantage. Because right now, we're so caught up in that fear and heartache that we're not being able to utilize all of our frontal cortex, or the front part of our brain that brings in dynamic solutions, new opportunities, embracing new possibilities in creative ways. However, as we shift out of this stuckness, you're going to see that balance start to come forward. You're going to be able to use more of that frontal cortex, creating dynamic and meaningful solutions for you, creating and embracing opportunities that, of course, leads to some amazing abundances. It's up to us to embrace this shift, embrace this balance. Now the angels are reconfirming this slow, steady progression. 2, 3, 4. Slow baby steps. We can even add in 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That slow, stable progression. We don't want leaps and bounds. We need that stability. In that stability, we're going to be able to overthrow your ego's fear and heartache. We're going to be able to release some of the pain that has been slowing you down. That way, you're able to really embrace and enjoy all that this experience and your lifetime has to offer you. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and you're able to gain some insight and direction into the week ahead. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which of course helps people raise their vibration. We're allowing people the guidance and the healing that they need to make a difference in their life, which has a knock-on effect for people around them. So it's a win-win for so many people. Additionally, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way. You don't want to miss any of it. Of course, the best way to ensure that you don't miss any of it, hit that little red bell so you know when I post videos. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And of course, I've got lots of tiers and perks in my Patreon page. Those perks, we're looking at free readings and healings just for you. Additionally, I have a Patreon exclusive library of videos just for my supporters. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my rose quartz friends. Hello and welcome, my Lapis Lazuli friends. This reading is especially for you. Now, like always, I have the full decks of both the Oracle and the Tarot cards here, so you get the fullest and most meaningful reading for you. Without further ado, let's see what the week holds for my Lapis Lazuli friends. What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the week of January 10th through the 16th? Oh, if you're doing yours, you want to come do mine? Cleaning house. Of course, we're not looking at dusting and vacuuming your own home. Not in the physical sense anyway. It's time to clear out some of those aspects and pieces that aren't working, that you don't need, that aren't helping you. Leaving space to be filled with things that will help you. Aspects and pieces that are starting to emerge and are going to need a space within you. Think of it as a cup within you that can only hold so much. Without a good cleaning and releasing, well, all you're going to do is start to overflow, feel overwhelmed and burdened. It's time to release some of that buildup that has been there forever and you don't really need, that you don't use, but you're holding on to because your ego is telling you you need to. These pieces and aspects are not serving you. It's time to take that deep breath and get that vacuum out and release some of this stuff. It's built up and it's weighing you down. It's holding you back because those emerging aspects aren't getting the energy and love that they need. They're being buried and blocked by all this buildup, all this gunkiness. This week offers you that opportunity to get rid of it, shedding some of this heaviness so that the light and love can come forward and these emerging aspects can come up and support you in what it is you want to do. Let's get a little bit more clarification here. What should my Lapis Lazuli friends focus in on for this week? It's a good one. Meditate. Quiet your mind without agenda. Focus on something simple and let your mind wander. Take some sacred action to nourish your spirit. Very much needed right now. That meditation is going to support us in, well, understanding what it is we need to clear out. It'll help to quiet the inner whirlwind that continues to happen. As much as we try, that inner whirlwind, that ego likes to come forward and whirl things about. Taking that time, taking that breath, it's going to support you in, well, getting that job done. Understanding more clearly what we need to release and clear out, and what we need to give more energy and time to. Allowing those emerging aspects to come forward and shining up and working with our current aspects and pieces that are supporting us so that they can do it even more. Meditation is a fantastic way to take time for us, release and clear things that aren't working, and rejuvenate and heal us as a whole. Of course, I've got so many different meditations. I actually have 2 playlists of them. The one meditation that's coming to mind right now is a meditation I did with Archangel Jophiel. She helps to calm our mind, helps to clear our path, and connect in with our creativity. That creativity is a core of what we want to keep. Now, if you're new to my channel and aren't too sure about the meditations I'm talking about, I have 2 playlists. They're both listed below, and the most important part is that they're free. You can use and reuse them as much as you need. These meditations are a guided meditation that supports you with what it is you want to do. They're all labeled and all clearly state what it is the meditation is for. Connect in during the week with these different meditations to help calm you and rejuvenate you and inspire you forward. So let's look at this week. What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the beginning of the week? The Wheel of Fortune, the 10th card in the Major Arcana. Of course, with the Wheel of Fortune, we're looking at that change, shifting gears. And that's exactly what we want to hear for 2021. Let's shift out of 2020. Of course, what we have to do first, we have to clear out some of these old feelings, thoughts, patterns that we're dealing with. We need to clear a path so that we can continue to grow and evolve. If we don't clear ourselves out, well, we're not going to grow. We're just going to keep getting stuck in the same rut. Time to shift and change things. And of course, the only way to do that is to clear things out and release. The beginning of the week, we're starting to see that. Taking that time to meditate, taking that time for self, start shifting things. You are the only one who's going to be able to do this for you, so you might as well start on day 1. Taking a little bit of time each day throughout the week will really help in decluttering you, inspiring and invigorating you. When it's in small, manageable pieces, most of the meditations I have are about 30 minutes long. When they're small like that, they're easy to fit in your day. It doesn't feel like extra work. We don't want to burden ourselves even more because it becomes an added chore. If it's something that we're excited about, something that feels good, we feel invigorated afterwards, well, it's a win-win. You start to see that shift. We're raising our vibration, we're opening ourselves up to many more opportunities and a lot of guidance that we're missing out on right now. So the beginning of the week, we're starting off with that nuclear bang. Take control and give yourself some time to start clearing stuff out. What about the middle of the week? What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the middle of the week? Ooh, yeah. Another Major Arcana, the Hanged Man, the 12th card in the Major Arcana. He's the let it go guy. And that's what we need to do. These preconceived notions, these expectations that we have, whether we put them on ourselves or other people have put them on for us. Well, it's time to take that deep breath. And like I said earlier, be open to some guidance. Allow the universe and the high vibrational beings into your everyday so that they can support you. They can bring in those opportunities. They can allow those opportunities to resonate brightly for you so that you're able to embrace and incorporate them into your everyday. It's taking that step back and, well, taking that breath back to the meditation. When we are in that meditative state, well, we're not in control. We're not pushing ourselves forward. We're not allowing our ego to guide us. We're taking a pause and a break for us. And that pause and break helps the universe start to bring in those aha moments, those opportunities. You start to be more present and able to receive the messages, those messages that the high vibrational beings are leaving for you. They're hidden in plain sight. We just need to be more present and open for them. During the middle of the week, there's actually a meditation that I'm going to be publishing. It's probably going to be ready at the beginning into the middle of the week, so right around this time. It's a meditation for my Just You and Me series. It's called the R&R meditation, so that rest and rejuvenation. Perfect meditation to connect in with during the middle of the week. Giving yourself that time to recoup for you, replenish you, and gain some added guidance. We do that by getting out of our head. Fantastic meditation that you can use to your advantage. Because when we do let go, like I said, the universe, those high vibrational beings, they like to swoop in. We get that aha moment. We get contacted by physical people who want to support us. And it's usually aspects and pieces that we hadn't even thought of. They're not in our scope of reality because we're so stuck in what we're dealing with. Taking that time, taking that pause. It makes a big difference in what we're dealing with and what supports we're connecting in with to make this shift and change that we're so looking for. Middle of the week, let's let go. And if you want to build a snowman, go for it. Having some fun, getting out of our head. That's an important aspect. Now, one day, and I've put this out there before, someone is going to create the hanged man in a snowman form because, well, that's just going to make me incredibly happy. I know there's copyright in putting Olaf in there, but come on, gotta let it go. He's a let it go guy. All right, on to the end of the week. What can my Lapis Lazuli friends expect from the end of the week? Who thinks it's a major arcana? Sorry, it's the Four of Cups. However, important nonetheless. Where major arcana talk about that big energy, that bigger aspect of self. Whereas the minor arcana talk about the everyday implementation of that bigger energy or shift. So we're looking at making some shifts, and this is how it's going to be implemented. This is the effect of engaging with these bigger aspects, these bigger energies. Now the Four of Cups, we're looking at that missing aspect. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, she had a man sitting under a tree. There's 3 cups sitting in front of him, and he's looking at him going, ugh, is that it? Similar energy here. And beside him, off to his left is this cup being handed to him from the universe, from a higher vibrational source. The same is true here. Like I just said, the higher vibrational beings in the universe want to support you. They want to hand you that holy grail that we're missing, that's going to bring more happiness and fulfillment into your everyday. That holy grail is going to come in when we get out of our head and we start to take time for ourselves. Engage in that shift. Engage in our lives, in what it is we're doing. When we start to embrace that missing holy grail, we're going to find more fulfillment, more joy, and more abundance. However, in our present state, we can't embrace it. We need that shift, that cleaning out, before we're able to embrace that holy grail. Until this occurs, we're going to be stuck in that same blah energy. It's up to us to do the work and then reap the rewards. At the end of the week, should the work have been done, that holy grail is going to shine bright. And in some cases, the universe is going to drop it in your lap. That has occurred. Because when we're getting out of our head, we're getting out of that mundane bleh. We're getting into the fun. We're going to go build that snowman. We're going to, take that time to meditate. Take that time for self. Take that time to engage in what's happening in our everyday, in right now. Not worrying about the future and getting stuck there, or not getting stuck in the past, those good old days, or getting stuck in 2020. We need to be present in the here and now to receive the messages and guidance from the high vibrational beings to gain that holy grail, to gain the guidance, the insight, and support that we need now more than ever. Let's look at the challenge for the week. What challenge will my Lapis Lazuli friends face for the week of January 10th through the 16th? Ooh. Yes, we are. The Moon. The 18th card, again in the Major Arcana. The Moon talks about the unknown. And we're dealing with the unknown. That holy grail. Anytime we're dealing with the unknown, our ego starts to scream at us. Warning, warning, danger, danger. And then we stay in that same rut. If we take that deep breath, we start to connect into that meditation that you're going to find is key this week. You're going to turn the moon from an obstacle, to an avalanche. No, to an ally. And the moon is a very important card. I know a lot of people feel that it's kind of a quote-unquote bad card. However, they haven't got past that fear of the unknown. The moon does offer a lot of unknowns, and so does our lives. There's still a lot we don't understand, and a lot we're here to experience. The moon itself, when you look at the energies of the moon, you're looking at that divine feminine. And of course, the divine feminine, it was demonized by humanity. There was a lot of uncertainty and fear. And let's be honest, that feminine and women can be very scary because we cycle like the moon. We have a lot of different layers that men tentatively don't have. Some men do. I'm not going to just generalize, but many men, especially back in the day, didn't have the variety of emotions. And if they did, they kept them squashed down inside them. They didn't have the dynamacy and the nurturing that women did. And we won't even get into childbirth because that can be terrifying for anybody. That fear of the unknown. When we use the moon to our advantage, when we start to use the intuitional skills that are there, and this is kind of hard to see in this card. In the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, right at the bottom of the card is a body of water. And anytime you see water in tarot or oracle, you're looking at that intuitional energy. Using that intuition, no matter what you may fear is in that water or message, when you use it to your advantage, it's when you're going to start to go through that rite of passage that's right there. The moon is a pillar card, which means you have that rite of passage. There are many major arcanas that have that rite of passage. And the moon, well, it's one of them. Once you do that, connect in to that intuition, letting go and allowing that shift to naturally occur, that's when things are going to start to fall into place. That Holy Grail really does start to support us in our journey. We need to take that breath in and use the moon to our advantage. That energy is there for us. Those opportunities are there for us. It's up to us, well, to embrace them, take hold of them, and utilize them to our advantage. Let's go into some blessings. What blessings can my Lapis Lazuli friends embrace for the week of January 10th through the 16th? Just in case I missed it or you missed it. Moonlight. We need to use that amazing divine feminine to our advantage. It's unfortunate that we don't have a full moon to use to our advantage this week. However, we can call in that divine feminine energy and use it to our advantage. There are a number of archangels who work with that beautiful and amazing energy. And of course, I did a meditation with Archangel Christiel, who embodies and radiates that beautiful divine feminine energy. In that meditation, Archangel Christiel and I explored your path ahead, helping you to understand your pathway forward. It's kind of a win-win meditation. Not only are you going to embrace this beautiful moonlight energy, this divine feminine energy, you're going to get a better understanding of how you need to go forward, helping you connect in and embrace that Holy Grail. Fantastic meditation that, since you're meditating this week, you might want to try out or revisit. And then we have Ghostlands. Many of us feel like we are stuck in this frozen, well, ghostland, right? Things haven't really shifted as quickly as we had hoped, and we feel stuck. That divine energy of the feminine and, well, doing some clearing out is going to help you break this ghostland, help you shift out of where it is we are and how stuck we are. We have that ability to make some changes in our everyday and our lives. We started off with the Wheel of Fortune. Change is coming. The work we put in now is going to pay off and start to thaw out this ghostland. It's up to us though. No one else can do it for us. We need to put in that work, that time and that energy to make changes in our lives that are meaningful for us. So we're going to end off on any further insight, wisdom, whoa, and guidance that we can offer my Lapis Lazuli friends for the week of January 10th through the 16th. Oh, I'm messing everything up. The Five of Pentacles. Anytime you see 5 in tarot or in oracle, you're looking at a bit of a challenge number. That pentacle, we're looking at that connection, that growth. We're feeling really disconnected. It goes back to that wasteland. January in itself can be a real bear for us. There's a lot going on. The nights seem to be forever long. And we're missing that connection. And that connection is both to our physical support teams and most importantly, to our spiritual support teams. It's been far too long since we have been connected in with that universal energy. It's time for that shift. We know it's here. Shifting back to that universal energy and away from that fear and back to that love. I know it sounds hokey, however, it's really important right now. If you get focused in on the fear and the heartache, guess what you're going to get back? The law of karma will send it back to you, well, usually threefold, right? When we start to shift our perspective and we start to focus in on the light, the love, and that unconditional loving energy of the universe, guess what's coming back at you? Guess what's going to help thaw out this cold, barren space that we're finding ourselves stuck in? Taking that time for you will really pay off in that connection and your understanding. The Three of Swords. We cannot minimize that pain and that fear that's going to be there. I know I'm just saying we need to get out of our head and get out of our way. That can be really hard to do. We need to put in the effort. We need to use our determination and our courage. Another meditation that will help with this is a meditation I did with Archangel Metatron, where we're releasing that fear and that pain. We started the whole reading off with cleaning house. Well, guess what, guys? That release, it's needed. Three of Swords is exactly where you want to start. Releasing that pain. It's not serving you, and it's holding you back. It's amplifying that disconnection. So, taking that time for you will pay off. And finally, the Ten of Swords. Now, it's hard to see in this card, but in the original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew, you still had the same fellow, well, not obviously the same fellow, but a fellow who was laying on the ground, and he has 10 swords impaled in his back, just like this fellow. He's in a woodland area, and in the distance, the sun is starting to rise, reminding us of the importance of no matter how we're feeling, we need to embrace our day. Embrace the amazing wonders and joy, those messages that each day wants to share with us. If we get caught up and curl ourselves up and hermit ourselves in, we're gonna miss out. Embracing each day to the fullest, because when you do, you're starting to raise your vibration. You're focusing in on the light and love rather than the heaviness. When you look at starting to release some of this heaviness, that heartache and fear, well, starts to be easier. You're like, oh, I can do this. Yeah, this is easier than it was yesterday. Focusing in on you and making decisions for your best and greatest good also helps to raise your vibration because you're making those decisions. And most importantly, you need to put action to those decisions so that you can start to see that shift and change that we're so needing right now. I want to thank you guys so very much for joining me today and watching this video. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful and you're able to gain some insight and direction into the week ahead. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps people find me on the sea of YouTube, which of course helps people raise their vibration. We're allowing people the guidance and the healing that they need to make a difference in their life, which has a knock-on effect for people around them. So it's a win-win for so many people. Additionally, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There is so much more amazing coming your way. You don't want to miss any of it. Of course, the best way to ensure that you don't miss any of it, hit that little red bell so you know when I post videos. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page. And of course, I've got lots of tiers and perks in my Patreon page. Those perks, we're looking at free readings and healings just for you. Additionally, I have a Patreon exclusive library of videos just for my supporters. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out? Until tomorrow, my Lapis Lazuli friends.